Hello and welcome back to Globesweeper Hex Puzzler. I think I've postponed it enough. I think it's about time we take a look at Icosahedron. In my opinion, one of the hardest levels in the game, at least for me when I was playing through the game the first time. This was one of the few that I got really stuck on for a long time and just couldn't figure it out. And it's one of the reasons why I even started making this walkthrough, because there was no other walkthrough. No one else had any guidance for this level, or for some of the other ones we'll get to later on. There was like one Steam post about the very end of it, and then one just screenshot showing, yep, here's the finished level, which is completely not helpful at all. But let's get into it. Let's see if I can explain this in a satisfactory way. So, this level is actually not that long, assuming you know what to do, but knowing what to do is the hard part, and finding where you're supposed to go next in many of these spots can be really tricky and headache-inducing, but let's take it one step at a time. So, to start here, we have this minimum 2 area, and we have this maximum 2 area, and they overlap in this line. So this tile, for this minimum 2, has to be part of a chain that is 2 or more. So this one has to go on here to a chain of 2. But then this maximum 2 now lets us know that it can't go to more than 2. We can't have a chain that is more than 2 in this line, so this tile has to be disconnected. And then we get this tile marked, and once again, a minimum 2 means we have to mark one more, maximum 2 means we have to disconnect the next one. And then we solve these normal tiles. Now here we have a minimum 2, so 1 and 2, but we can't say more right now. Then down here we also have a minimum 2, so 1 and 2. And then the maximum 2 here lets us know we have to cut this off here, and then we get a 1 there, and a 1 here, and a minimum 2 lets us know this has to go on here to a 2 chain or more. And that's all we can say there. Now, we jump over to this minimum 5 here. So these 2 tiles have to be part of a chain that is 5 or more tiles. So let's look at this tile. We only have 6 tiles available, so the only way to make a chain that is 5 or greater is to use these 5 tiles, or these 5 tiles, or all of them. So we have to use all 4 of these center tiles, because that's the only way to make a 5 chain. We can only make a 5 chain with these tiles, or using both if the 5 chain for this max area, minimum area, is somewhere else here. Same here, this has to be at least a 4 chain here in the center, and then it has to be at least 5 here, or both if this is the 5 chain or the 5 chain is here. Now, with that, we're done with this 12 area here, so we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So these 2 tiles and this tile are removed. Now before we go up here, let's look at this one again. Now we have 4 tiles here, it has to be a 5 chain, so that has to be marked. And 4 tiles here, it has to be at least a 5 chain, so that tile is marked. Now we go up here and follow this line. Until that point. Now here we have a minimum 3 area, so this single tile has to be part of a 3 chain or more, so 2 and 3, and same here, 2 and 3. But we don't know if it continues past that point. Now we just look at this 10 area, which has 5 tiles, and only 5 more tiles, so all of these tiles have to be marked. This max 3 area lets us know that these 3 chains can't connect up to more tiles, so this tile has to be disconnected, and this tile has to be disconnected. Now let's follow these 2 lines for as far as we can. To there. I'm very scared of misclicking because I've already fucked up this recording, like once or twice I think, I can't remember. So there we go. Now, here we have a minimum 4, so this has to be part of a 4 chain at least, so 2, 3, and 4, and here 1, 2, 3, and 4. And this maximum 4 lets us know that this 4 chain can't be more than a 4 chain, so this tile has to be disconnected. And then let's follow that until that point. And now down here, this 6 area has 3, 4, 5, 6, and all of these tiles are removed. We get this tile here, and a 0 there, and like so. Now we can look at this minimum 2, which has 1 tile here, and has to go on here for at least a 2 chain, and then this max 2 here, lets us know that this tile now can't be marked, it can't be a 3 chain. And then we get this for a bit, just follow that as far as you can. This one is done until that point. Now comes one of the first tricky sections, one of the first really difficult things. So we have to look at this 8 area and this max 4. So this max 4 has a single tile here, it has a single tile here, and it has a tile here that can at most become a 3 chain. It could be a 1, it could be a 2, it could be a 3. But we don't have the 4 chain that is required for this max 4. So the only spot for that 4 chain would be in these 6 tiles. And because of that, like we saw with a 5 chain earlier that needed, out of 6 tiles, it needs to have the 4 center tiles and then have either 5 here, or 5 here, or all of them. This 4, again, or similarly, has to use these 2 center tiles in these 6 tiles, because to make a 4 chain, we can only do it in this way with these 4 tiles, or these 4 center tiles, or these 4 right tiles. So regardless, these 2 tiles have to be marked for this 4 chain. Now we look at this 8, which now has 4 here, 5, 6, 7, and only 1 more tile here. But what happens if we mark this tile? If we mark this tile, that means we have to delete this tile to complete the 8 here, but this minimum 2 would then have a single tile here and a gap here, and that doesn't work. The minimum 2 has to be part of a chain that is 2 or more, so this tile can't be marked or it becomes a single tile, which doesn't work here. I think I just said that like many times. So yeah, this one doesn't work, we have to delete this tile, and this tile has to be marked. Because of that now, we have to use these tiles for the 4 chain, so the only way to make a 4 chain here is to use this tile and then cut it off here. And then we follow this as far as we can until that point. Here we have a minimum 4, so 1, 2, 3, and 4. This 1 is now done. And this minimum 2 here has 1 tile and 2 tiles. Now we can look at this 9 here, which has 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and... oh wait, sorry, hold on, before we do that, this one. Minimum 4 here has 1, 2, 3, and 4 at least. Now we look at the 9, because now the 9 is complete, and this tile cannot be marked. And that's done. Follow this line as far as we can until that point. Now here we have a minimum 3 area, so this has to be part of a 3 chain or more, so 2 and 3, and 2 and 3, but it could go on here, we don't know. Same here, minimum 3, actually let's skip this one, here's a minimum 5, so this has to be a 5 chain, at least, so 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, like so. And now... yeah, now where do we go? That's the issue sometimes. I practiced this several times and still I can't keep track of this level. It's very, very easy to lose your way here. Can we look at the 12 already? We have 4 tiles here. We can mark at most 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Yeah, so for these 2 ones, we can at most mark 2 of these tiles, which means the center tile can't be marked. If we mark the center tile, then since we have 4 tiles already, we would have 5 tiles, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and we can't make a 12 chain. Alternatively, you can just ignore one of the ones and just think about this one, for example. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and then 12 here. So this one has to be marked, and this one can't be marked. So we get that, this is now done, and this is marked. Here we get a minimum 4, so these tiles have to be a 3 chain and then go onward to a 4, and here this 3 chain has to be at least 4. Now, here we have a 4 chain that is completed and we can't go above that for this tile. I think I could have done this earlier, so yeah, this one is disconnected. This one is very hard to keep track of and like do in a sequential order or whatever. Now I think we can look at this 14 also, very similar to the 12 area here. So if we count this, we have 6 tiles total. How many can we mark? Let's, I mean, it doesn't matter, but let's assume we mark this shared tile again. So if we have, or I don't know if that's a good thing to do, whatever. Let's do that to begin with. So we have 6 tiles. If we assume that we mark this tile, that's 7 tiles, and then we can at most mark 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So that doesn't work. But yeah, if we just count how many we can use minimum or maximum, we have 6 tiles, we can at most use 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 in these tiles. So because of that, we'll have one here for 13 and this one for 14. So all of these are marked. Yeah, sorry, I feel like these are really sloppy explanations right now. This minimum 5 has a 3 chain here, it has to go at least to a 5 chain, and a 3 chain here has to go at least to a 5 chain here. Now we have this maximum 4, which has a 4 chain here, so this tile can't be marked. We can't make it more than a 4 chain. And now what do we do again? It's not this one already. Oh boy, yeah, this is the hard part. Even now, I practiced this so many times! Okay, here we go. This max 5 has 4 here, but that's not enough. We have 3 here, we have 3 here. We have to have a 5 chain in this area, and the only way to make a 5 chain right now is to use this chain here and add 2 more tiles in, because this is only a 4 and this is outside of the area. So this has to be a 5 chain and then has to be cut off. Yeah, in practice I feel like I did this way cleaner. Now we can look at this minimum 3, which has 1, has to go to 2 and 3 at least, but maybe more. And this minimum 4 here has 1 tile here. We have to use it, go at least to 4 chains of 1, 2, 3, and 4. But this max 4 now lets us know that we can't mark this tile. The 4 chain here is done. Let's continue here. Mark these 2. And this is marked. I don't think we look at this one quite yet. Do we? Well, here we have a minimum 4, so this tile has to be part of a 4 chain. Actually, this is better. Minimum 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 has to be marked. Now I think we can look at the 11 here. Can we? Oh wait, hold on. Before we do that, minimum 3 here. 1, 2, and 3 at least. Now we look at the 11 here, which has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So this tile is removed. Now we can look at this 11 as well. This is another little tricky area. So we have 3, 5, 7, 9, 10. And we only mark one of these 3 tiles. But what happens if we mark either of these 2 tiles? If we mark this tile, then this minimum 4, or this one, it doesn't matter, either one, would have a single tile here, and then these 2 tiles would be removed because the 11 is done. So the minimum 4 would have a single tile, and it can't make it part of a 4 chain. So that doesn't work. If this tile is marked, then this and this tile are removed, and once again we have a single tile here that can't be part of a 4 or more chain. So these 2 tiles cannot be marked, it has to be this tile that is the final tile for the 11, and these 2 tiles are removed. And now these have to be a part of a 4 chain, so 2, 3, and 4, like so. And now this 11 here has 4, 6, 8, 9, 10, 11, so it's already done, and these tiles are gone. And is that it? That's it, except for the final part? Yeah. Now, the final part is also a bit of a tricky thing. So, you can ignore this 18 completely, honestly. Just think about this maximum 4 together with either one of these minimum 3s. So, what would happen? We have 2 tiles here and 2 tiles here. What would happen if we mark this tile? If this tile is marked, or this tile, then this minimum 3 would require us to make that a 3 or more chain. So if this tile is marked, we have to also mark this tile, and that makes a 5 chain. But here we have a max 4, and if we then have this marked, that would be a 5 chain, and that doesn't work for the max 4. So this tile cannot be marked, and same on this side. If this tile is marked, then for this minimum 3, we have to mark this tile as well, making it a 5 chain, which doesn't work for the max 4. So these 2 tiles cannot be marked, or it clashes with the max 4 area. So these are gone, and now you can just ignore this and just count this area. So this area of 18 had exactly 20 tiles, and we have now deleted 2 tiles, so all of the remaining tiles have to be marked. So there we go. It's gonna be a short video, but I'm gonna leave it there for this one because I feel like this is kind of a major level. Like, this is one of the big ones, so I feel like it deserves its own video for the sake of searching and stuff. Yeah, sorry for jumping around a bit, but there are like 3 or 4 spots that are very hard to figure out in that one, and I think I explained those well enough at least, but it's a little hard to keep track of sometimes. So, hope you enjoyed, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in one of the later levels if you need help there too. Bye bye!